have your strap handy, you can simply have it off to the side. We'll be using that later in the class. But if you do have some type of strap or belt at home, it will be a helpful tool that we'll use later on. And to begin today's practice, we're going to simply lie on our backs. Find a comfortable position. You can bring the soles of your feet together, opening your knees out wide, and make simply a butterfly position with your legs, or any position that's comfortable for you. And then go ahead and place one hand on your stomach and one hand on your heart. We'll begin by finding the breath, centering our focus inward a little bit more. And take the first few moments to just simply notice how we're feeling and set our intention for the class. Begin to arrive, deepening your breath here. Take one or two more full deep breaths in and out through the nose. And then let's take a full body stretch here, spreading our legs long and reaching our arms up overhead, getting a nice full body stretch, maybe moving and wiggling the hands and the feet, rolling the wrists and the ankles, making any movements that feel good to you. And then slowly we'll come up to a seated position. Finding a seat on our mat, let's take both of our hands by our side. Inhale as we reach our arms up overhead. And exhale, let's bring our hands down and in front of us to heart center. Taking one more full deep breath right here. And then let's begin with seated cat and cow. So for cat and cow positions, we're going to inhale, arch our back, look up to the sky, and maybe our chin lifts. On our exhale, roll the spine back, drop the hips, drop the chin. And taking those two movements, inhaling and exhaling at your own pace as we begin to warm up the torso, the spine. You can make this movement as large or as small as you'd like. Take about one or two more. And then when you're ready, let's inhale both of our arms up to the sky. Exhale, bring our hands back down to heart center. Let's take a few twists, twisting over to the right with our inhale. Back through center on your exhale. Twisting over to the left on your next inhale. Exhale, coming back through center. Following your breath here, going to the right and to the left. Whichever side you arrive to next, let's hold it at that side. Maybe you lower your arms to your hands and to your knees, and one behind you to help deepen that twist. We're going to hold here for 3 full breaths. Maybe you look at the wall next to you, or maybe you try and look behind you, over that back shoulder. Finish your exhale and take the same thing on the other side. Holding on the other side, using our hands as leverage to help us twist even deeper. And maybe you try and look beyond that back shoulder. Simply warming up the spine, easing into today's practice. Exhale, unwind. Breathe both of our arms up to the sky. Exhale, just the left arm. We're going to reach up with our right arm and over to the left. Feeling a nice side body stretch here. Remembering to pull the shoulder blades back behind us. We don't want to roll our spine forward. We want a nice open chest here. Coming up back through center. Same thing on the other side. Breathing both of our arms up overhead. Exhaling this time the right arm down. And then stretch up with our left arm over to the right side. Opening up through the chest. The shoulder can be relaxed, relaxing the head and neck. And And then breathe up through center, lowering that arm back down. Let's find tabletop position. On our hands and knees, our shoulders stack right over the wrists, our hips stack right over the knees. We're engaging our core here. And then let's press the heels into the mat, lifting the hips up to the sky. Find your downward facing dog. Drop the head and neck. Press through the L's of the hands while releasing the shoulders. As you inhale, maybe pull up through the kneecaps, lengthening our legs, bringing our hips to the sky. As you exhale, maybe soften the heels to the ground. Make any movements here that you like. If you want to pedal out the feet a few times, you have that option. And then let's inhale, walking to the top of our mat. And then slowly roll up once you arrive at the top of your mat. Take a few movements here. Let's start to warm up the feet and ankles. So pressing one heel up at a time, pressing into the ball of your feet, lifting and lowering each heel. Then let's take one leg up to the sky, start to roll that ankle out, just bringing some movement to the foot, all the little bones in the foot, the ankle. And the same thing with the other side, lifting the opposite leg up and making some ankle circles. Going in both directions. And lower that leg back down. You can keep your legs together or take them a few inches apart. Let's just have a slight bend in our knee and start to take a few hip circles here. Warming up the legs, the hip, even the low back. And then reverse that movement, go in the opposite way, keeping a slight bend in our knees. And find stillness with our legs. Take our hands in front of us and just open and close the palms, the fingers, stretch them out. Maybe make some wrist rolls. Any kind of movement to wake up the hands, the forearms. Maybe go the opposite direction. And then let's wake up the shoulders. Inhale, reaching up overhead, and then make some big shoulder rolls. Keeping a bend in your elbow or arms straight, whatever feels good. And then go in the opposite direction. And then let's stretch our arms up to the sky. Maybe your hands come to touch at the top of our mat. Inhale, reach up, and let's do a little bit of a back bend here. And exhale, bring your arms back down. Let's walk our feet closer together if they were separated. Inhale, breathing up to the sky. Exhale, let's take a forward fold. You can feel free to have a generous bend in your knee here with our forward fold. Just simply reaching towards the ground, drop the head. Make some movements with your neck. Maybe shake your head no, nod yes. Any kind of movements to help release the tension you might be holding in your neck. Take 2 more breaths here in this forward fold. And then on our next inhale, let's take a half lift, placing our hands either on our shins or maybe our thighs. Exhale, lower the arms back down, finding plank position, stepping one leg back and then the other. And you can take an optional chaturanga here, lowering down to the ground. Inhale, lifting up for cobra or maybe up dog. Exhale, coming through your knees or pressing all the way back up to downward facing dog. Take a breath here, pedal out the feet if needed. We're going to inhale and raise our right leg to the sky. Feel free to bend that top right leg. And let's take a few hip circles here with our right leg. Inhaling and exhaling as you make some small or large hip circles, whatever feels good. You'll definitely feel that left leg starting to work here, feeling that hamstring stretch on your left. Go ahead and find stillness. Let's straighten that right leg. And then step it in between the hands, and we'll find a lunge. You can stay at a high lunge here, a low lunge just like this, or drop that back knee. I'm going to drop my back knee, but feel free to do whichever you're feeling today. Inhale, breathing our arms up overhead. And then on our exhale, we're going to try to engage the back body as we lower our arms, our elbows, finding cactus pose, 2 right angles with our arms. And then let's drop the elbows even more, pulling our elbows close to our body, really engaging that back body, feeling the shoulder blades pull together. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. On your exhale, go through cactus, and then pull those elbows in even closer to the body. On our exhale, we can lower our arms back to the ground. If your back knee was on the floor, let's lift up that back knee. Drop that back foot and find warrior 1 position. Our right leg is forward in a nice deep bend. Our knees are going directly over our toes. Both of our hips are facing forward, so pull that right hip back. Bring that left hip forward. Reach your arms up overhead, but feel your shoulders release and drop away from your ears. Holding for one more breath here, feeling the strength in our legs, feeling the big muscles of the body start to warm up as we hold. Then on our exhale, you can lower the arms back down. I'll turn to the side so you can see me. We're going to take triangle pose. So straighten that front leg. Feel free to walk the back leg in a little bit closer if you'd like. But both of our hips are still facing forward, and we're going to reach towards the ground. So reaching to the ground, if this is challenging for you, definitely walk that back leg closer. But we want to make sure that this front leg is still straight. You can maybe have a micro bend in that front knee just to protect the knee and hamstring. But we're really reaching towards the ground. Maybe drop that head, try and release the tension in your neck. Breathe into the space where you feel this stretch. On our next inhale, we're going to bend both legs, bring the back leg to meet the front leg. Let's find chair pose at the top of our mat. Both legs are bent. The weight is in our heels. We're sitting in that invisible chair. Maybe our arms are in front of us, or maybe we breathe them up overhead. Hold for just one more moment. And then exhale, straighten the legs, lower the arms back down. Take a few big breaths here. Maybe shake out the legs. Standing at the top of our mat, we inhale, reaching up overhead. Exhale, forward fold, swan dive forward. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine here. Feel the crown of the head pulling away from the tailbone. Exhale, plant the arms back down, and we'll find plank position, top of a push-up. Take your optional vinyasa here. Lowering down to the floor, maybe halfway, maybe all the way. Pressing up into up dog or cobra, and then pressing your hips, reaching up towards the sky, downward facing dog. Make any movements here that you'd like. If you want to pedal out the feet or just simply stay still. On our next inhale, we'll lift the left leg up to the sky. Feel free to bend that top left leg. And then take a few hip circles here. Make sure you go in both directions. Really still pushing, rooting down through those hands. All right, we'll find stillness, straighten that left leg, and then step it forward into our low lunge. Either our leg in the back can stay up, or you can drop that back knee down to the floor. Wherever we are, let's feel our legs pulling in towards the midline, pulling in together, engaging the core, pulling the ribs together. Once you have your balance, let's breathe the arms up overhead. On our exhale, finding our cactus arms, feel the back body engage, and then pull the elbows close to the body as we finish that exhale. Inhale one more time, reaching, stretching our arms up overhead. On our exhale, find cactus, And then continue to bring those elbows in towards the body, squeezing them nice and tight. Feel those shoulder blades behind us. Make sure we're still engaging the core. Fantastic. You can release the arms, plant the hands down on the floor, lift that back leg if it wasn't already up, and then plant the back heel and find our warrior one position. Left knee forward, left knee is bent, going directly over the toes. Our hips are facing forward, pull that left hip back, bring the right hip forward, bend deeply through that front leg. Make sure our ribs are being pulled together, reaching up through the hands, but dropping the shoulders. Find strength in this stillness here as we hold for 2 more breaths. And then on our next exhale, you can feel free to straighten that front leg, lower the arms down, and we'll take our pyramid pose. So reaching the arms towards the ground, feel free to walk that back leg in if you need. But we want to be pulling that left hip back, right hip forward, just like we were doing in Warrior One. We're reaching towards the ground, dropping our head and neck. Trying to release and relax the upper body as we stretch that front left hamstring. And even though we're working this front leg, have a little bit, you want to definitely engage this front leg. So pull up through the kneecap, pull up through the quad on your front leg. Don't let it be just still. Work that front leg. Hold for 1 more breath. And then feel free to bend both legs. We'll find the top of our mat, our chair pose. Bending deeply through both of our legs. Weight is in our heels. We're sitting in that invisible chair. Maybe reach your arms right in front of you. Or if you'd like, breathe the arms up overhead. See if you can lift those toes off the ground. Make sure our weight's really in our heel. 1 more breath here. Exhale, straighten the legs, lower the arms. Good job. Take a deep breath, shake out the legs. All right, so if you have the strap like we mentioned at the top of the class, if you have a belt or a strap, this will help with the next sequence. So we'll stand at the top of our mat, and also we're going to be doing some balancing. So if you have a chair handy, or if you want to move closer to the wall, that might help with balance if you'd like. But look down at our feet, really spread your toes here. We want to make a really wide base so that this will also help with balance. Let's shift our weight over to the left leg, making the right leg nice and light. And then you can lift the right leg up in front of you at a 90-degree angle. We'll take our strap or belt, place it at the bottom of the foot, and then we're going to have that strap help us to straighten the leg in front of us. Oops, now I'm falling out of it too. Straighten the leg in front of us and feel that hamstring work. So it doesn't matter how high this leg is in front of us. It can be nice and low, it can be nice and high, however you're feeling or whatever type of flexibility you're working with. But wherever we are, find this balance. So root down through the supporting leg, pull up through the supporting hip. Maybe our other hand can be on the resting on the hip, or maybe you want to reach it out to the side. Play with what works for you. On our next inhale, let's take the strap with our opposite hand as the leg, and then we're going to reach the leg across the body. Maybe our opposite arm, our right arm, goes out to the side to help counterbalance. Bring it back through center. Hold the strap with your right arm, with your right leg, and then take it out to the side. It's okay if you're feeling wobbly like I am. If you fall out, just come right back in. Hold for 1 more breath. Exhale, release the leg, lower the leg down, release the strap, and then take a couple, I like to call this skiing motion, bending 1 knee at a time, stretching out that outer hip. We'll try the same thing on the other side. Spreading our toes nice and wide, creating that great big base for our feet. And we'll see how our balance is on this side. It might be similar, it might be better, it might be worse. Just noticing and not getting discouraged. All right, so we make our left leg light, raising it up to the sky. Apply the strap to the base of your foot. And then you can hold it with both hands or maybe just the same arm as leg. And then straighten that leg in front of you. Your other hand can be placed on the hip, or maybe you want to bring it out to the side. Holding here, breathing here. Feel the strength in that supporting leg. Reaching through the crown of the head, maybe grow 1 inch taller. And then take that strap with the opposite arm as the opposite leg and take it across the body. Feel that nice outer hip stretch. Looking straight ahead is definitely the easiest for balance, but if you're feeling it, maybe look to the side. All right, coming back through center, take the strap with the same arm as leg, and we'll take it out to the side. Remembering to breathe. Engage those legs, flex that foot. And when you're ready, release, lower that leg back down. You can place the strap on the floor. We'll use it a little bit later, but not right now. And then bend one leg at a time, stretching out those outer hips. Great job. Let's take a deep breath in, reaching our arms up overhead. Exhale, lowering them down, reaching towards the floor. Let's just step right into plank. And then from plank position, just lower your legs down. And we're going to take a child's pose here. You can keep your legs, your knees together or take them out wide, reaching your arms in front of us, dropping our chin or our forehead to the ground. And just take a few big breaths here. Inhale, you can come out of child's pose, and we're going to lie on our back. So swinging our legs forward, bringing our back to the floor. Bring your strap with you. And we can bend both of our legs. We're going to start with the right leg. Put the strap at the bottom of the foot, and we're going to reach our right leg overhead, having a straight right leg. Our left leg can be bent, and that's definitely more accessible. If you'd like to try and see how it feels to straighten that left leg down in front of you, that will intensify this hamstring stretch on the right leg. We're just going to hold for 3 breaths here, trying to keep that top right leg straight, keeping that foot flexed. Exhale, you can release the strap, lower that right leg down, and do the same thing with the left. Start with the right leg bent on the floor. See how that feels. We're just really using the strap here as a guide to help us keep that left leg straight and pull it in close to the body. But if you want to drop the strap and just have your left leg high to the sky, you can do that too. Maybe see how it feels to straighten that right leg out long in front of you. You have that option. One more breath here. And then take the strap, lower the legs to the floor, and let's just hug our legs in close to the body. Bring our legs, bring our arms in, making a small ball. Let's take our arms out to a T, reaching them in opposite directions, and drop your knees over to the left. Feeling the twist in the spine. Maybe your head looks up to the ceiling. Maybe you drop the head over to the right side, looking away from the knees. Inhale, breathing back up through center, and then this time dropping our knees over to the right. Maybe our head looks over to the left. And then coming back up through center, we're going to find Shavasana Pose. So make any final movements to prepare yourself for our final resting pose. Our legs reach long on the floor, our arms are long and heavy, and maybe our palms are facing up to the sky. Allow your body to find stillness. Start to deepen your breath, bring awareness back to your body. Maybe bring some movement to your hands and feet, fingers and toes. Slowly roll to one side, and then come find a seated position, taking ease and your time to get there. Once we're seated, maybe we bring our hands to heart center. Namaste. Thank you for joining me today, everyone.